Hi everyone, this is Geoff Hall with Around Town. A short segment today with my good friend Bob Parsons. Certainly no stranger to anyone in town. He's done some stuff at Westford Cat. And we're in the basement of the Cameron Senior Center, where this little hideaway is the area for the Model Railroad Club, known as the Middlesex Central Model Railroad Club. Very briefly, I mean, railroads themselves are a major part of Westford's history. The villages themselves, Forge Village and Graniteville and Nabnasset, all grew up in the mid-1800s as a result of the railroad, the Stony Brook Railroad passing through. And but you weren't around then, and neither was I. Okay, but you yourself, Bob, give me some of your background. Okay. You yourself.
I think my interest in railroading started as a boy, as we all, like you and I, we got the Lionel train sets.
Okay, yeah.
And
I think every kid got one back in the 50s.
Oh, yeah. So, and not only that, but my dad also worked for the railroad.
Okay.
So it sort of incorporated both the, but as I grew older, I wanted to start to work for the railroad. That was what I was thinking in the future. He said, "No, you're not going to work for the railroad."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And why?
Why? Because you freeze in the winter and you sweat in the summer.
Yeah.
So he says, "No, you got to learn a trade," and that's what I took up printing for 20 years, and then that computer went off, and so did our jobs, and then.
But you finished your career where?
At Courier Citizen.
No. Your career,
working career here in Westford.
In this basement.
In this basement.
Not actually this basement.
But this is the newer part of it.
Bob was the custodian here,
yes.
Here at the Cameron School before they closed in the early 90s.
Right.
So, I mean, the Cameron Senior Center opens in 1994, and this became part of it. Want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, we were in the older part when we first started, as you remember, and we had to break down when this part was being built, and then the building was completed, and this is where they said that we could set up, and that's how we did. In the meantime, we inherited a layout from Joel, who lived in Hollis, New Hampshire. He passed away, unfortunately.
Okay.
And his wife said that he wanted someone in a club that would like to have it to take it, and we did. So when you came down, what, about 5 years ago?
Oh gosh, it was 5 or 6 years ago.
That's when we were just starting to put this together, and we really weren't ready to shoot anything at the time.
Yeah.
And,
because mainly what it was just the trains and the tracks. And,
that's
and what you can see here is, of course, the layout, the background, the scenery, and all of that comes with model train sets. Right. When did you begin your interest? Well, you said you got one as a kid. I got one, and that was it. I went on to other things. Well, but you stayed with it. Bob.
Yes, I did. I met a friend his father also worked for the railroad.
Okay.
And he was an HO enthusiast.
Explain HO. These trains you see here are HO trains, am I correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
That's
They're the smaller versions.
They're the scale, yeah. The HO means half of O.
Okay.
O is the old Lionel Railroad.
Yep.
And HO is half of O, and that's what we have is the HO. Because you can build a lot more in HO than you can with O. You've got to have big space.
Oh, yeah.
To get the bigger trains.
Yeah. And most of what I've seen over the years myself is these model trains like this, the HOs, what these types of things are built around, the landscape and the tunnels and all of that. Tell me this, Bob, okay?
Yeah.
You've been involved, you said that the Model Train Club actually was the mid-70s.
That's correct.
When you actually got started with an actual Model Train Club.
Right.
It was down at, Clayton Dirth, who lived off of Cold Spring Road.
Well, first of all, the clubs for many years was in Tewksbury.
Okay.
And that's when they decided when they wanted to name the club, they picked Middlesex Central
Model
Railroad Club because at one time there was a Middlesex Central railroads
Central Railroad,
that ran from Boston through Arlington, down through Concord, Mass, and into Carlisle, and then into Westford.
It was an area you had not just Westford folks, but you had people from the entire area.
That's correct. Everybody in the Middlesex area become.
So did it become smaller when you moved it, say, to Westford?
We went down to modules because when we had a breakdown at Tewksbury, the actual layout that we had there had to be broken down.
Yeah.
And luckily we had modules because we used to go to train shows several times a year.
Yeah.
And promote our railroad.
Let's stop you right there, Bob.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about these train shows. I mean, you said the last weekend in January is the big one out in Springfield.
That's
correct?
right.
At the Big E?
Out at the Big E,
Okay.
yes.
And you say there are 4 different buildings that house?
We started with just the Living Center.
Okay.
And we're now in 4 buildings.
Okay.
And there's going to be 60 different layouts, all different scales. And then there are vendors also that sell products.
Okay, so it's not just model railroads.
No.
It can be books on railroads and many other things.
Definitely,
But, how many, I remember this club here, What Bob, okay, and now that people know where it is, how can they get involved?
Okay, we have 15 members right now, of which maybe 4 or 6 come to the club every Thursday night. We meet Thursday nights.
Okay.
7 to whatever. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's just a 9. Other times it's later. It depends on what we're doing.
Bob, as I said, you've been around here. You've been active with this. The way it's changed in 6 years. There's many more trains. You've got who built this? Who built the background?
Every one of our members has had a help in it.
Okay.
We have carpenters, we have electricians, and we have men who enjoy doing just scenery.
Okay.
And it's all fun, and that's what we like about it. That's why I like the thing. It includes a lot of different...
things.
Especially the electrical part underneath.
Oh,
I let my electrical experts do that.
You told me a little bit earlier, you get the electrical part.
Yeah,
a lot of it's computerized now, right?
Yeah, it was DC when you and I started. All you did is crank up your transformer and the train ran.
Yeah.
If you ran 2 trains on it, they would both run at the same time. Then DC was developed, and what happens now is that we put the full electricity through the track all the time, and you put decoders in the locomotives, and you assign it to a number, usually the number of the locomotive, and you operate that train. So I give you a throttle, I take a throttle, you run your train, and I run mine, just like a locomotive engineer would.
It's fascinating. It really is.
It really is.
Okay, so let's leave with this message. If you're interested,
Yes.
7 to 9, the basement
Yep.
of the Cambridge Senior Center, kind of hid away next to the food pantry, and it's fascinating. I find it fascinating. Bob, I want to thank you. You and your Boston and Maine shirt for coming on and educating the people of Westford about this little gem here that most people don't know about.
Right.
Hopefully they will.
And those of us who are seniors, we might come down during the week because we're retired, so we can come down here anytime we want. So keep that in mind.
There you go. Thanks, Bob.
You're welcome.